order. Before we stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I have a second. You there, Shannon?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. We'll go to old business. We got Dirk Williams from the Antique Motorcycle Release and Waiver Guidelines. You got the floor.
Oh, I'm up. Oh, good afternoon. You got
You might want to stand in close so you can see
Yeah.
Okay,
as far as the.
Yeah, you
She's on
stand.
the phones.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. I had sent over you guys had requested the release of liability information and stuff, and I'm assuming you got it?
I just actually got before the meeting. It's actually fairly simple, but I did have a chance to take a look at it. And as long as I think the city is actually added to those sections, it's still adequate, but we still have the issue of, if anybody is charged to go into any of this event, we don't have recreational immunity. Because if you charge anybody, and that's why we require the farmer's market to have an insurance rider and things like that. So we would, obviously, we would still have everybody sign releases, but we still need,
Well, we are required, my organization requires me to have insurance, and I purchased that of $1 million bond that comes that's out of my pocket.
sure.
Sorry, I wasn't done. Sorry, I was thinking and talking about what I do very well.
Sure. We actually have I have a call in with Andrew Rucker, our CIS insurance agent, who's looking in to see what the liability limits they're gonna want as far as what they recommend because we do have to have insurance covering us, because if you charge, and regardless, even if we didn't, let's say this whole thing was completely free, they can still go after a town employee or volunteer for negligence. The recreational immunity statute was limited several years ago by a Supreme Court decision, so CIS heavily recommends we have liability insurance adding to the town as an additional insured and any town employees, and volunteers, etc. So we'll let you guys know. But as far as the waiver goes, as long as town employees, staff, agents, volunteers, officers, council, etc. were added to that form should take care of what we need it to do as far as race participants and stuff like that. The form is a very broad waiver of liability, which is appropriate to an ultra hazardous activity. And I don't mean that as that's just what they call those, any type of BMX, this type of stuff. So the form will meet and which is typical of a form provided by an insurance agency. They don't want to pay, so.
This is just basically the same as, all the waivers that I've dealt with through the racing team and stuff like
Absolutely,
that.
no, it's
there's
an
really,
industry standard one, and I'm okay with that. That's from a
Yeah.
legal standpoint, that there's a reason it's written the particular way it's written, and it's also written in fairly plain verbiage. So like I said, as long as town employees, staff, officers, etc., are specifically added in those subsections, this release I think adequately protects as far as for participants. But obviously, you don't have the audience sign up.
Oh, yeah, actually they do. Anybody that comes in signs on the
Oh,
release.
perfect. That actually helps. That's even better. But we still need the insurance coverage. as
Well,
far
how
as
would you feel about, and I talked to HQ, about just adding yours right to the back of ours, and they sign both sets with your exact language.
I think it makes sense just to add us as far as
Okay.
to this one. I think we'd be better sticking within one that,
Okay,
and especially because this is obviously provided by the insurance company that's going to be providing the policy. So it looks, so it's important that if they're going to be defending the town, they're comfortable with the language. So.
okay. If you guys could, if we decide to do this, if you guys can get me the names and everything you want.
Yeah, we'll get you a block paragraph. There's a standard set of stuff we would put in a liability waiver that just covers all potential iterations of town
Can
staff.
you say any town employees or their representatives instead of names?
That's what we're talking about doing, not names, categories.
Shannon,
That's what I said. Shannon, we're gonna do a paragraph added to that that's gonna be categories, town employees, officers, agents, council members, et cetera. We're not gonna do individual names. That way it can be used year to year.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, as I stated, if you guys see fit to let this happen, I have a 10-year plan that, for the city, and each year, we kind of build on it. And the city would say, yeah, let's try that. At the end of the day, you guys are driving, it's just me that wants to use your plan and race my motorcycle, to be honest with you. I did write this, Dawn suggested that I write, a short blurb, and it turns out to be 45 pages. I really apologize, I only wrote for a half hour, but I touched on what I thought were the highlights. And I put in some of the figures on the back of what I expect, at least the first year, maybe the first 2 years. Like anything, it needs to develop a following. We do have advertising through our organization and stuff, but I try to, costs involved, my costs involved, what exactly I need. There are things that I have to have, but that's my responsibility. I have to have EMS. I have to have, we gotta have water and water trucks, so I'm gonna have to rent that. A source for water, things of this nature.
What time of year are you planning this?
It's gotta be before fire season, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
I think we talked about mid-June, right?
right. Well,
Yeah, I think we gotta be flexible on that, but yes, that's what we spoke of.
Right.
Late May, early June.
well, we might talk to the fire chief, they've got brush rig they can take up there just for safety reasons.
Be awesome.
Yeah.
And,
I think he was talking about having it sometime after the snow came off and before, it got too dry, so.
Exactly.
That's probably mid-June to maybe first or second week in July, so,
Anyway, what I've got here, Shannon?
Yeah.
Shannon is, I've got, and I'll leave one for you as well, it's just, it's a synopsis, I guess, of, the high points. I hope to have covered what, some of the questions you guys had, my responsibility is more so than anything. Insurance, fire, EMS, things to negate any, litigation type related stuff. And, some of the costs on the back, I've gone into, some of the costs, I've actually gone into what what my vision is, over the next 10 years. And, it all comes down to you guys, let's get through the first one before we even start talking about the others, but.
So you're possibly making it an annual thing.
My plan is 10 years. I've been looking all over for a community like this, but I'm close here because my daughter and son there, my daughter-in-law, her cousin, your cousin, I guess. And every time I come here, I just look around and go, this place is amazing. I mean, I love it here, I wanna move here anyway, but, just the opportunities here. Lastly, I would say this, is that, and I've written it in there, is that any all profits come out of this, I'm gonna put right back into the community. I'll not take a penny, I don't need the money. I will, the pool, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, something like that, whatever. And I would seek advice on that, where you guys think would be appropriate.
Okay,
Only thing I have to do is pay the bills, and that's why I was asking about the trophy shop, is I would like, buy all my supplies and stuff, it's not much, 18-inch stakes and white ribbon, we don't go in and we don't use tractors. We just go in and go out and stake it out, we gotta go clear, I was just up there yesterday, there's rocks and stuff that need to be moved, but, it's relatively easy, we don't leave a huge footprint like the modern guys do.
okay, that works for me.
Any other questions I can answer?
How
Yeah,
do you go about closing stuff up so that we don't get people on UTVs or four-wheel drive rigs or something, kind of driving around it where you guys
Yeah.
around?
Shannon, we talked about that a bit last time, that is a concern, and there was a couple of suggestions, I think it was, I don't remember who said it, that, signage perhaps, stuff like that. My concern is after one race, that the kids will go up there and try to race up there, and my concern is that I'm not trying to be selfish, I'm trying to preserve it for the next year and the next year, but I don't wanna turn it into a riding area, so,
Do you foresee it riding on the same course every year?
very similar, if not right on the same course, very similar right next to it,
I'm just thinking that would lessen the impacts if you did like right every single year at the same spot, just so that there's not more potential damage on a wider area.
Well, I think that's a good idea, and I think if we lay it out as we like it, there's a good chance that that's what we do. After the races, I'll spend a couple days up there raking stuff out. I'd really like to find somebody who knows what the natural grass is up there. I'd like to go up and reseed it before winter starts, and then when we're done, after I rake it out, we will leave little, where we slide into stuff. There will be tire tracks, not like modern bikes, with the big tall berms and stuff, but I'll go out and hand do that myself. I always do at my races.
Talked to Department of Forestry,
Mhm.
and they've been doing a lot of work up there, and I think they've been doing some reseeding. We'll see what we can find out about
Yeah.
with them,
Yes,
what they use.
I think that's just, it's in the best interest of A, the land, B, we're just, I think I told you last time, the average age of us ARMA guys is, the young guys are 49, the rest of them are our age, you're a kid. So it's, I think you'll be amazed, it's guys our age, your age, all of ours, they're flying. I mean, you will be surprised how fast he's and how competitive they are, we're a bunch of, I'm 65. And we're out there, we're banging bars, it's serious stuff.
I wasn't here when this was first presented, so I'm just wondering where in Bullard County you're gonna do it.
Well, what we proposed is directly across from where the gun range is, there's kind of a little slope like this with some uphills and some downhills.
Right.
Relatively open, and like I said, we would have to move some rocks and maybe pull some brush out, but we wouldn't be cutting trees down, anything like that.
Well, I wouldn't want you running into them either.
Well,
Okay, I was just curious, I didn't know, there's a lot of country out there, so.
yeah, that would be that part, then there would be 3 events in 2 days, and that would be the speed portion of them, that's called the Vintage Motocross. Saturday, we would do a trials event, which is considered a non-speed event, that's really slow, mile an hour, leaning on a tree or, going up and over a rock really slowly. It's more about skills and balance. And then ideally, we'd like to throw in a cross country. You guys have 14,000 acres up there in Determinant, 13,000 acres up there. And just up and around, around the, and it'd be just, once a year kind of thing. And once again, we walk it, take all the flags down. We don't leave a mess at all. We're pretty conscious about cleaning and hauling trash and stuff like that.
When you're talking about cross country, I would get a hold of Richie Johnson. He's put on several cross countries for ATVs here.
Oh, really? Richie Johnson, okay.
And I think he works down at Auto Works,
I'm not familiar with that, sir.
okay, where the old Napa store
Yes.
used to be. Right directly behind there, you'll have to go down J Street and go in that alley there.
Mayor, do you know, did that require federal special permits, or is that all city?
Yeah, talk to him, he's the one that, yeah, I don't know what permits he had to get and stuff to go on Forest Service land and.
Well, I've spoken with them, so I've broken, I tried to, I touched base with the commissioners and with the feds, and I finally got to the individual gal, Michelle is her name as well. She's the permit specialist. So she sounded like she'd be pretty easy to work with. I'm sure, that we'll find some stuff that we have to work around, but, that's okay, that's why we're starting so early.
Okay, good, keep us informed. And I'll see what I can find out what grass that is.
Okay, and here are some more for the gentleman who aren't here. Like I said, I tried to keep it short, but sometimes my mind just doesn't work that way. So, and if there's misspellings, I apologize.
That's all right.
Since I retired, I haven't picked up, I haven't done much typing or anything. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Yeah. Did we have anybody on the line from the solar?
They are standing by and ready to take questions if you have them.
Okay,
Donna, did you put me on the docket for
Next week.
next week?
Yeah, just so we could go over it further and
Okay.
see where we're at.
I'll be here. I anticipate many meetings.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect, thank you.
Bye.
And just to let council know, we've got Andrew Rucker should have us an answer, I hope by Monday, about what he thinks the limits of the liability policy should be as far as in
Yeah.
consultation with city county insurance, so. I suspect it's gonna be more than $1 million, so.
okay. Shannon?
Yeah.
Hey, did you have a chance to look over this solar stuff?
I did.
And,
My biggest concern is it's a lot of money,
well,
and it's almost 12 years before we're breaking even on it.
well, 12 years is, better than paying out more than what we're paying now, I think. Because what we're paying out in electric bills, it will come back and help us. But we need to do something to help cut our costs. And I looked at all three of these, and the best one I found was this Eco Solar.
Yeah, I mean, we're paying just over $1,000 a month, between $1,000 and $1,100 a month. And they're asking, theirs I think is 165. It's just a lot of money to put out. I mean, I kind of defer on what you guys are thinking, but I'm hesitant to put that kind of money out there, you know, I don't know, it's a lot of money.
Well, you know, Eco is cheaper than any of the others, but it's also got more wattage from what I was looking at.
What's your thoughts, Sandy?
Well, I agree with the amount of money. I hadn't really had a chance to look back. I think Michelle just gave me today something that had to do with what you're talking about, with how much money would be saved, and I really haven't had a chance to go over it yet. So I just am kind of up in the air still about the whole thing. So I need to do that, and, you know,
Who else is there? Is Jay or?
no.
Nope, it's just us three.
Okay.
So, you know, I think we just need to have a full, council discussion about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can get everybody here next Tuesday, so it's not even on the agenda.
Well, I can amend it and add it.
It probably wouldn't hurt to do that. Oh, wait, it is on the agenda. Yeah.
It should be under old business since it hasn't been settled yet, what we're gonna do.
Well, it's under new business.
Oh, but,
Oh,
it's
I'll
the first
just move
time
it.
it's been on the
Yeah,
agenda.
it's
That's
under
okay.
new business.
I'll amend it, or,
No, it needs,
No, it's fine.
okay.
it needs to be against, I thought it was old business, but apparently it isn't.
Well, we tabled it, I think 2 meetings ago.
So it would be old business.
So, all right, we'll discuss it at the next meeting, I guess.
Okay.
I was hoping to get moving on this, but. Okay. That's all I have on here. Do you have anything, Shannon?
I was just curious, it's been a month or 6 weeks now, just kind of curious on where we are with the folks that we sent letters to about, the cleanup stuff.
Oh,
They haven't gone out.
they haven't gone out yet.
Okay,
But a few of them have cleaned up their properties.
okay.
And the major one cleaned his.
The one there by, Jeff?
Yep,
Yeah, Jeff said he's been working on that.
yeah, it's getting there.
Good. Good. Okay, I'm
It's-
just kind of curious on where we're at. I hadn't heard anything more on that, so.
Now, they're working on them. Okay.
Good.
Sandy, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, hearing none, then we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 4:27.